Guys, I'm getting a communication that you might be very interested in before you finish this clip.
Yeah.
Spy report.
Should we send a link to Nicholas Rekieta?
You know the answer to that.
Who? Who's that?
What?
Yeah, finish your clip. I'll send this link.
Yes. All right. I love it.
Nick Rekieta. Hello.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, what's up, Nick?
Hello.
Oh, I just in for my Friday watching of a Midwest weirdo with commentary brought to you by a panel of experts.
You heard of this guy?
He's vaguely familiar. I know some things that you guys may not, though. So
I consider we may not. We watch this guy a lot, Nick. I don't know how you.
I think we got it covered.
I don't think you know him more intimately than we do, unless you have other footage.
I think you can trust me. I probably do know him more intimately than you do, but I consider you all experts.
Well, share with us. We'd love to know some thoughts.
Nick, I have a question for you because people say that I'm sweeping for you. I hear this a lot.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, please come sweep for me. I used to have a giant fat cuck do it in my house and he left.
Right. So I think that the lowest form human on the planet is a rat. And I see Aaron as a total rat. He ratted you guys out, gave all the dirty secrets out there. Obviously, a lot of consequences from that. I find that to be despicable. When did you realize, or did you realize that he was capable of that? Because to have someone who's that close to you then blow you in the way that he did is insane to me.
And blow you out.
I don't know. We all talked about everything beforehand because it's like we're all public people and people can take things in the really wrong way and they can make something that is one thing into something else. And so we're just not going to ever talk about anything publicly at all because it's not anybody's fucking business.
It goes without saying. I have a lot of relationships with people that we don't have to tell each other. By the way, this conversation we had, we don't talk about. Like, yeah, no, I know.
Yeah, it's like it's almost like if you just think about life in a normal way, and then you look at what Aaron did, you go, "Oh God, that's really shitty." Like that was really scumbaggy to do. You should just that's all private stuff. You should just kind of leave that alone, bro. He says ick. He says ick to the idea of women being clothed in a way that accentuates certain parts of them. I'm like, oh my, what do you mean ick? How gay are you? I thought you were pretty gay, but not that gay.
It doesn't even matter if you're as straight-laced as a Mormon. Like, you should be able to walk around a store full of ball gags and baldos and all that stuff and at least laugh and enjoy it. Like, you should at least be able to point at stuff and be like, that's crazy.
Look, I want to point out that this store in particular that he's talking about is not that store is next door and I love it. I go there too, but no, this store is literally, it's just outfits, and yes, strippers buy them because all of the outfits are basically one size, which is small. It's the only size that should exist for women's clothing. If you have a size larger than small,
naked fat women everywhere.
No, like put bags on them and send them away to Asia or whatever. They can eat them. I don't know, but. Like, so it's one size, it fits the women who go in there, and like, you don't have to strip. I don't know if people know this, but if you put on like something sexy and skimpy, you don't have to actually get on a pole and take it off for money. Like, you could just wear it for someone you like. Like, that's the cool part about these clothes.
His wife was wearing a bikini on his show. Right. He knows this.
$50. $50.
Okay, here's some hot Aaron lore. He doesn't like lingerie. Like, he doesn't care for it at all. He's just like, well, why aren't you just naked? It's like, I don't know. Why don't you wrap the present, you weirdo? Like, it's fine. Like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Tell us about the button. When you guys were playing Naked Twister, what would hang lower, Aaron's dick or the women's labia?
No, he is exceptionally insecure and could not be naked.
Show his clit.
He couldn't.
He wouldn't do it.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, like, he's the only guy standing there in a pair of underwear. I'm like, you still wear those? What's wrong with you? And then it's like we're playing strip twister, and how do you not end up naked? Like,
that's the point.
That's the goal. Like, you want it.
That's how you win.
Want to lose. I remember bowling over the women multiple times and going, "Ha! Take off your clothes."
Nick, if he was wearing his underwear, then how do you remember his penis?
Look, that wasn't the only time I was around him. It was
By the
just
way,
that time.
Nick, that was a phenomenal troll. You did the thing to him that he claims he does, where he's like, "Yeah, I'll just drop a bomb over here. I'll just walk away and just let all the ramifications happen when I'm walking away." You literally did that to him. He was crying about it for the next few days on his show.
Oh, it's amazing. He's like, "I can't believe you're sitting here thinking about my dick." It's like, well, someone has to. You're all alone now.
The way he was acting out how you typed that, like, "Oh, I love your dick." Like he was changing what you said. He was changing the way you said it. It was hilarious.
Yeah, no, it's just funny. I just remember it. And I remember standing around. I remember the first time I saw it. And I remember exactly what he said. And it's the funniest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
We're listening.
Yeah, you're going to have to keep listening on that one. That one's coming later. That one's coming after some simulation.
Nick, Tukey here from Tukey Soup. First time, long time, hacka.
Hi.
Can you tell us whether or not Aaron does in fact know what your cum tastes like?
Yes, he does.
Yeah,
I knew it.
Yes.
No.
Oh my god.
No
no further
fucking
questions.
way.
No further questions.
No.
Tukey's out.
I'm not going to tell the story today. That story's not as, like, okay, so people have,
we shouldn't know this. Why do we know this?
people have speculated on what that story is, and the real story is both better and worse. And I will tell it, like I will do it when it's appropriate. I won't do it today. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be. Listen, I'm not trying to be a cockhole. Let me say this.
Oh,
Aaron has been
for all of us.
Aaron has been trying to get me arrested for witness intimidation like a fucking bitch. I've never said anything that should suggest that Aaron should stop talking. I've never done anything to prevent him. I've sat there and let this man fucking disparage, defame me, my wife, and my girlfriend for fucking 6 months without saying a goddamn word about it for real. I've bitched about it and grumbled a couple times, but Jesus Christ, I have been remarkably constrained because I can't act in any way that would prevent him from potentially being a state witness. I don't want to prevent him from being a state witness. If that dumb fucker wants to get on the stand and talk, that'll be great, because I know what he actually said to the cops, and I know what he said to you guys, and I know they're different. And the funny thing is, you dumb motherfucker, I have the recordings because that's how court works. So I can prove all this eventually. But I'm going to wait till the whole process is done so you can't accuse me of somehow intimidating you, you little bitch. I'm just going to go ahead and fucking nuke you from the orbit when it doesn't legally matter, and it just ruins your career and your life. Fuck you.
Wow.
So you're not fond of him?
Yeah.
No.
Can you speak to any of the Aaron said a lot to like Kayla was his soulmate and a beautiful girl. He wanted to get her out of there and away from you.
She was a beautiful girl.
Is any of that legit? Like they were in love with each other and he made her make noises you never could.
Holy Christ, no, not that one. No, so it's not my story to tell. It never has been. Lady Raggets, for whatever there is, she's not a person who really likes being out there in public. She's tried to stay off the internet since about 2022 because the internet really kind of fucking was rude to her when she was nice to it. What? And that's a shame. Like I don't know why they did that, but some people did. It's just how it goes. So she's been off the internet, and people are now like, why won't she talk in public? It's like, well, she doesn't want to talk because one, you people are ravenous and horrible, and two, like this is her private life that got non-consensually broadcast to the world. She didn't want any of this. None of this is supposed to be for anyone. So I'm not going to tell those stories.
The hot tub stream at the end of 2023.
She hated it, man. She didn't want to do that.
Nick, Tukey again from Tukey Soup. Thank you for answering my last question. I do have another question. When Aaron sampled such nourishments, did he get it directly from the tap, or did it come from a third-party receptacle from like a cup holder or something like that?
Good follow-up question.
It's a good follow-up question. No, his lips have never been in proximity to my penis.
Oh no! Fantastic. I also heard you say that during all this, you not only have a wife, but you also have a girlfriend. So Tuki wanted to congratulate you on having a girlfriend through these difficult times. That is fantastic.
Thanks.
Nick, somebody wants to know. You don't have to answer anything you don't want to. Obviously, what's a backstory with Alyssa clips?
People should go ahead and research Alyssa on their own. I don't need to say much of anything, but just start looking into Alyssa, and you'll find a very, very interesting story and very, very interesting circumstances. Also, hey, you bitch, why'd you send a bunch of nudes to a bunch of sad guys who really were looking for women and then extract money from them? Why did you do that? That's really fucking dishonest and disingenuous. You met those guys. You know, half of them are borderline autistic. They're socially awkward. So when some dopey chick on the internet starts sending nudes to try and steal money from them, that's really shitty to do, you fucking bitch. I wish I would have known you were doing that in my Discord server sooner. I would have thrown you out so you could have bitched about it and cried to everybody just like you did when you ran a GoFundMe to try and get a keyboard or whatever. Oh my God. Hopefully cancer does the work that God wants soon.
I just wanted to ask you kind of like what's next for you. I obviously, like, I haven't seen anything about any kind of trial stuff. We have no idea what's going on with your trial, and Aaron hasn't been talking about it, so we're not getting any news. When do you think you'll be out to find out stuff?
My next thing is it's a settlement conference on November 25th. It's to try and see if I can work out a plea arrangement with the prosecution. So far, the plea agreement that the prosecution has offered me was a preliminary one. As a preliminary offer, it's not great. Like, it's not bad. It's just not great. And there's a lot of stuff that needs to be worked out before it's a workable deal. So I'm going to go into that. You know, hopefully we'll have some discussion before then, but fuck, like, time is passing really quickly. So I'm always surprised by things, when they pop up. But yeah, that's November 25th. And if we reach some sort of settlement agreement, we will schedule a plea hearing. And if we don't, we'll schedule a trial. And that'll be funny if that's the case, because this case has a lot of stuff to it that's been overlooked in people's haste to like paint me as the villain. Of course I'm the villain. Look, it's me. God, oh my goodness, it wasn't hard to figure out. It's Nick and two women. Who's the villain here? Well, probably the tall, dorky asshole who's on the internet all the time. He's probably the villain. Like, make him the villain in your story. I don't fucking care. But like the legal reality involves a lot of work still. And I'm just taking it one step at a time. But that's the next thing is this settlement conference on 25th.
Nick, Tuki again from Tuki Soup. Thank you again so much for being so candid with us and answering our questions. I have one more question. Do you remember the exact moment you looked at the other two girls and said to them, "We have to ditch this dude"?
Yes, great question.
Dude, yeah,
This is almost a good question. The other two girls, fuck you, Tuki. Yeah,
I'm sorry. I just meant the ladies.
It's a good question.
It's a good question.
No, it's really like, okay, the internet wants stories that like make really good sense, happen in black and white, and have clear principles. The internet wants a hero's tale in every fucking Twitter thread, but it doesn't. Life doesn't work that way, man. It was complicated. It wasn't so clear and simple, and things like happened over time and then evolved really, really fast, and no one really fucking knew what was going on, and it was just a giant mess, and it involves a whole lot more than some nerd being thrown out of a group of people. Like, there's a lot of emotion, a lot of feelings involved in a very real way. And, every person who's involved in any relationship, don't take this to the poly level, just any relationship. Every person who's involved in a relationship adds an exponential layer of drama because they have connections with everybody else. It becomes a fucking mess really quick. So
yeah. So who kicked Nick out? Or sorry, so who kicked Aaron out? God damn it.
Kayla.
Nick, I've got. I don't know. I don't know if you're going to answer this or not, but we've long speculated about April's hunting trips before the cover actually started. Is there anything to maybe something happening with April before Aaron started joining it? Like when she was hunting, was she exclusively hunting deer?
Were you fucking April before Aaron knew about it? Before their Vegas trip? Yes.
No, Jesus Christ, no. Like that's again. There's a level to things, and betrayal is not really on my menu of things to do. So no, none of that was happening. I liked April right away. I thought she was awesome. I got along with her really well, but I didn't know her super great. I'm not going to just go fuck her. I'm not that, like, I don't do that. That's not a thing that I've ever done in my life. So like I which is funny because a bunch of people think I do now. I'm like, no, guys, seriously, I'm calling people a nerd half ironically. I'm a giant fucking nerd my whole life. I wasn't running around fucking girls. Like I don't look at things that way. I don't act that way. April started coming over and just hanging out because it's really fucking cold. So after you hunt or before you hunt, pop inside, you have some coffee, hot chocolate, whatever, warm up, and then she would go home. And she's just a friend. And that was great. And then it was like, we hang out with you all the time. Maybe we should like meet your husband because I met him at that stupid comedy thing.
Boy, was that a mistake.
Yeah, no kidding. I made a lot of them. They're great. I got a giant fucking list. I can't wait to tell everybody because everybody's like, talk about all your mistakes. I'm like, can I make it so that I don't have legal liability for all of them first? And then I'll tell you. I'm happy to tell you about all my mistakes. I don't care. I don't live with shame, man. I don't want to go to prison because I do have kids. I do love them. I always have. They've never been neglected. They've never been hungry. They've never been so dirty that they're in danger. None of that shit's real. That was, and guess what? Like, I'm going to prove all of it when it's done because I have all the recordings of the people conspiring to tell the lies to the fucking preacher. Like, that was an actual conspiracy by people to get together to tell untruths to a guy so that he would relay them to the cops. And I know that because they fucking said it. And I have it on recording because that's how this shit works. You get discovery, and all of those interviews get shared with the defendants so they can defend themselves, not just in court, but also in public. So it's weird. It's almost like a bunch of people got together and lied about me, and there's some really bad fucking timing involved, and then everybody didn't know what to do. But me least of all, I'm like, jail's weird. I don't like this that much. I'm going to sleep.
Tukey again here from Tukey Soup. Again, thank you so much for your time and being so gracious.
Just go.
Answering your question. Shut up. This is a follow-up to my first question. Just so I know it wasn't an accident, would you say that Aaron has sampled your essence more than once?
I don't know. I know of the one story, but let me just say that from the story, I can tell you very clearly, it wasn't a fucking accident.
Oh, baby bird, baby!
Wow! Spy report.
You caught him scooping it into a SpaghettiOs can after he rinsed it out.
No further questions.
All right. Anybody else have any hard-hitting questions for Rekieta?
Well, Pest has an interesting question in here. I don't know if you want to get into this.
Wait, do I not get to sit around and make fun of Aaron on his show? That's what I wanted to do.
Oh, yeah, you can hang with us, of course.
I want to be a normal guy. I want to hang out with my friends.
Yeah, of course, man.
Is this the question you wanted to
ask,
Carl?
Have you ever talked to April about their marriage and maybe some physical abuse?
Yeah. As it happens, when I first met April, she was not forthcoming about physical abuse. When you think about it, it's not like a lead-in thing. Like, hi, what's up, blonde person I've never met? She's like, actually, my husband headbutts me and squeezes me until I'm quiet around the children. Like, that's not a normal conversation. And so it didn't come up for a really, really long time in the relationship, not until things were ending. And then it was more like I was just thankful to have Aaron out of there. Aaron wants to blame me for a lot of stuff with April, but the biggest person to blame bad stuff with April is Aaron. And he can take that a couple ways. He can take it maliciously, like he's a giant asshole and acted like one, or you take it non-maliciously and say, "God, like, dude, it wasn't going to work out. And you guys tried to make it work and it didn't. And that's fine. Like, it just wasn't time yet." Or there's the really funny way in which, well, sorry, somebody's got game and someone doesn't.
But you are saying, like, April did talk to you about physical abuse. This isn't a phantom. This does exist.
No, that's definitely not a phantom. I just didn't know about it at first. I mean, if, like, dude, I don't tolerate physical abuse of domestic partners, women, men. It doesn't matter. Like, that shit cannot sustain. It cannot be allowed to go on in a relationship. It has to be addressed. Look, when you're in a relationship that's abusive, and you can make a clean break, and there's nothing to take, you just make the clean break. Like, sure, she could have gone after part of Steel Toe Media. I could explain the legal reasons as to why she could get that, but she'd have much more trouble getting full ownership of the house based on the length of their relationship and when he bought stuff and all that shit. Like, you could go into it, but the reality is, please, dear God, this relationship is killing me. I need to get out of it. Sometimes is the answer.
And her boyfriend owns 2 houses. So she's like, I'm good. I don't need anything from this guy.
Damn, that guy sounds cool.
We're about to watch Aaron talk about his return to broadcasting. Would you like to goof on this with us, Nick?
Oh my God, yes. I want nothing more than to sit here and make fun of this fucking stupid weirdo.
Awesome.
I'ma do my stuff.